Nearly half of all motorcycle crash victims sustain upper extremity injuries. And the reason is not that riders skip arm protection. It is that the arm protection most of them are wearing has already moved away from the joint it was supposed to cover before the crash even happened. Riders instinctively lock their elbows and brace on impact. Medical literature confirms it. That means the elbow joint is absorbing enormous force at the exact moment the pad is supposed to be there. For most riders, it is not. Here's the thing, the elbow guard market has split into two groups. On one side, brands that have solved the retention problem with pre-curved geometry, heat contouring foam, and pads large enough to fill the pocket wall to wall. On the other, brands selling flat foam pads, level 1 minimums, and Velcro straps that loosen before you leave your street. Here is what the gear retailers will not tell you. A CE Level 2 certified pad that has migrated 3 centimeters off your elbow joint at the moment of impact is functionally identical to wearing nothing. Certification level is irrelevant if the pad is not over the bone it is meant to protect. Smart riders have stopped trusting sleeve tightness alone. They are moving to pre-curved, anatomically retained elbow armor that molds to the joint and cannot migrate under 30 minutes of riding vibration. Stick around until the end, because the final brand engineered their retention solution specifically around where stock elbow pads actually end up in real crash data. Part 1. Brands to avoid. Number 1. Harley-Davidson OEM stock elbow armor. Harley-Davidson is the most recognizable motorcycle brand on the planet. The lifestyle, the heritage, the brotherhood, and the elbow armor they ship in their jackets and sell as replacement pads through their own retail channel is CE Level 1, not Level 2, Level 1. Harley-Davidson's own product pages for both their D3 Ogos variant and their Rheon Labs elbow armor carry identical language. Exceeds CE Level 1 certification requirements. That is a deliberate product decision from a brand charging premium prices for lifestyle gear. The legacy Air Limb OEM pad that shipped in HD jackets for years was independently documented as flat as a pancake. 2 foam layers, no pre-curved geometry, no heat contouring, no anatomical retention design. A flat pad against a curved elbow joint creates a single contact point at the center and gaps at every edge. It relies entirely on sleeve tightness to stay over the joint. And HD cruiser jackets are not universally cut snug at the sleeve. Under riding vibration, a flat level 1 pad in a loose sleeve migrates freely. In a crash, your instinct to brace with locked elbows drives force directly into the joint the pad has already vacated. Bottom line, a lifestyle brand selling a flat foam pancake as elbow protection. Which is fine until the tarmac arrives and asks for the engineering. But if you think a flat level 1 pad is bad, wait until you see what Alpinestars has been slipping into premium garments under a name that sounds almost identical to their level 2 product. Number 2, Alpinestars Nuclean Flex Plus, not the Pro, the Plus. Alpinestars makes a genuinely excellent CE Level 2 elbow pad, the Nuclean Flex Pro. They also make a visually identical, similarly named, adjacent purchase CE Level 1 pad called the Nuclean Flex Plus, both sold under the Nuclean Flex family name, both listing identical dimensions, both shipping inside premium Alpinestars garments. One protects your elbow at level 2, the other does not. The name difference is a single word. Alpinestars' own product page confirms it. The Nucleon Flex Plus, level 1, maximum transmitted force up to 35 kilonewtons. The Flex Pro, level 2, maximum transmitted force up to 20 kilonewtons. Translation, that is nearly double the force traveling into your elbow joint on impact, from a pad that looks identical to the level 2 version from the outside. Multiple premium Alpinestars suits have been documented shipping with Flex Plus level 1 pads, rather than Flex Pro level 2, including top-tier racing suits whose price points imply race-grade protection throughout. But here is where it gets truly reckless. Many track day facilities require CE Level 2 elbow armor specifically for entry. A rider who buys a premium Alpinestars jacket assumes the Nuclean Flex armor inside is level 2 and shows up to scrutineering is going to fail. Not because they bought cheap gear, because a naming strategy made a level 1 pad look like a level 2 purchase. Bottom line, a strategy so precisely designed it sold level 1 protection to riders who believed they had bought level 2, which only matters when the ground makes the distinction for you. If you are already reaching for your jacket to check what level your elbow armor actually is, hit subscribe. New video every Tuesday. Number 3, generic Amazon strap-on elbow guards, anything under $25. These are EVA foam pads in a neoprene sleeve, held in position by 2 Velcro straps, marketed using CE language, CE approved, CE tested, CE impact protection, with 0 declaration of conformity, 0 EN 1621-1 stamp on the pad, and 0 legal accountability. Non-EU brands can print any CE language they want, and they do. EVS Sports, a legitimate protection brand, publicly acknowledges pad migration as a design problem, noting silicone gripper inserts are specifically placed to limit uncomfortable migration. If a real brand is engineering against migration with silicone grippers, the Velcro-only category is not solving it. Standard EVA foam has no rate-sensitive properties. It compresses under load and stays there. It does not harden on impact. It does not conform to the joint. The Velcro straps degrade under road grime, sweat, and washing. Community riders document these guards rotating around their arm, the pad facing the inner forearm rather than the outer elbow bone, within 30 minutes of riding. And get this, the elbow is the first point of contact in an instinctive bracing fall. The force is enormous. The Velcro retained EVA pad that has rotated to the inside of your arm is now protecting your bicep while your elbow takes the full, uncertified, unabsorbed impact. Bottom line, a CE stamp on a polybag, 2 Velcro straps fighting riding vibration, and a foam pad that moves faster than you do in a crash. Part 2. Brands that stay in place. Number 1. Forcefield, the Isolator 2. Forcefield does not spend on marketing, they spend on engineering. Trusted by British Superbike, Moto3, FIM Speedway, and British Supermoto professional racers. The Isolator 2 elbow pad measures 24.5 centimeters long by 16 centimeters wide. It is the only mass market elbow armor achieving CE Level 2 certification to all conditions of EN 162-1-1:2012, including T+ at 40 degrees and T- at -10. In independent testing, it transmitted approximately 5 kilonewtons. The Level 2 maximum is 20. Forcefield is not just passing the test. It is 60 to 75% below it. The retention engineering is the real kicker. Pre-cupped geometry wraps around the elbow joint rather than lying flat. Drayam heat contouring molds the pad to your specific elbow curvature, underbody heat within minutes, creating a friction fit that resists rotation. The large dimensions fill the pocket wall to wall. This is engineered retention, not sleeve tightness doing the work. Molds to your elbow like it was cast from the joint because in a crash, approximately over the bone is not close enough. Number 2, SAS-TEC, the SC1 EVO. German engineered, CE Level 2 certified, claimed residual force approximately 7.5 kilonewtons. OEM stock for Scorpion, Scott, and Held. And in the independent rider community, it carries one distinction and no other pad on this list has earned. Riders specifically call out the SASTEC EVO as superior to D3O and Knox for elbow-specific cupping, not overall impact numbers. Elbow cupping, the exact property this video is built around. Once softened under body heat, the foam molds to the elbow anatomy and, per independent documented testing, moves with your elbow joint as you bend it in any direction while the pad stays fitted and secured alongside the joint. $40 per set. Compatible with Alpinestars, Dainies, Klim, and Icon pockets. German cupping geometry that wraps the elbow joint and stays there. The pad the racing community reaches for when displacement is not an option. Number 3, D3O, the LP2 Pro. The most recognizable name in motorcycle armor. CE Level 2 certified under EN 1621-1:2012. OEM adopted exclusively by Richa across their entire range. and by dozens of other premium garment manufacturers globally. Under sudden high-stress impact, the molecular structure locks, dispersing force across the full pad surface. In independent testing, it consistently transmits well below the 20 kN ceiling. The LP2 Pro carries a moderate anatomical precurve, enough to maintain position in a properly fitted jacket. Cold weather caveat D30 stiffens below 0 degrees Celsius, reducing the heat contouring friction fit that aids retention. Know your claimant. In anything above freezing, $40, universally compatible and genuinely level 2. The most available level 2 elbow pad on earth. Number 4, Knox the Micro Lock Compact. Knox engineered Micro Lock specifically for temperature stability. Where D30 stiffens below 0 and loses its conforming ability against the joint, Micro Lock maintains consistent softness across the full temperature range. A D30 pad that has stiffened on a cold commute creates edge gaps inside the pocket. The Micro Lock compound stays soft and friction conforming in January as reliably as in July. CE Level 2 certified, slim profile. Fits pockets designed for Level 1 pads without gap. The armor that does not stiffen away from the joint when the temperature drops, which is when the joint it is covering needs it most. Here's your homework. Put your jacket on and get in your riding position. Feel where your elbow pad actually is right now. Not where you place it, but where it is with your arms bent at the bars. Pre-curved or flat? Level 1 or Level 2? Drop it in the comments. Number 5, Alpinestars, the Nucleum Flex Pro, and only the Pro. CE Level 2 certified under EN 162-1-1:2012. The most ventilated CE Level 2 elbow pad independently reviewed by Motorcycle Gear Hub. The open TPR lattice architecture, thermoplastic rubber and a structured grid, allows genuine airflow through the armor, not just around it. No other pad on this list breathes like this in summer heat. The adaptive lattice flexes around the elbow joint in the riding position, bending with the arm rather than fighting it. Coverage at the lateral elbow is superior to D3 OLP2 Pro, filling more of the pocket perimeter and leaving less room for rotational displacement. Compatible with Dainese, Klim, Icon, and Scorpion pockets. Italian Level 2 with a MotoGP address. The elbow pad that stays over the joint, breathes through the lattice, and never lets you confuse it for the Level 1 version again. Number 6, the one that should make you check your Danes gear tonight, Revit, the C-Flex RV14. CE Level 2, certified under EN 162-1-1:2012. Soft from the first moment you touch it, no warm-up period required. $39 to $44 per pair. The best value Level 2 option on this list. The documented preferred upgrade for Danes jacket elbow pockets, whose OEM stock pads are Level 1, rigid and widely criticized for poor retention. Here's the thing, the entire C-Flex pad function is as a distributed shock absorber, not a foam layer with a rigid center insert. The whole pad absorbs simultaneously, eliminating the force gradient that traditional insert designs produce at the edges. And because the full pad surface maintains contact pressure with the pocket walls and the arm, there is less gap at the edges where rotational displacement initiates. Independent reviewers confirm C-Flex delivers superior armored coverage versus D3 OLP2 Pro for elbow applications. The whole pad stays, the whole pad absorbs, the whole pad covers, which is 3 more things than the flat Level 1 insert your jacket shipped with. The elbow guard market is the battlefield between brands that solve the retention problem nobody talks about and brands still selling flat foam on Velcro straps and calling it protection. Fake certification, naming confusion, and Velcro theater on one side. British Superbike tested heat contouring polyurethane. German elbow cupping geometry, Dutch whole pad absorption, and Italian lattice architecture on the other. Put your jacket on and get in the riding position. Feel where your elbow pad actually is with your arms bent at the bars. If it has drifted toward your forearm, you now know exactly what to replace it with. Pre-curved, Level 2 certified, large enough to fill the pocket. $40 separates the pad that stays from the pad that migrates. Your elbow surgeon charges more than that per minute. Hit subscribe if you want the truth about what is actually staying in place and what is not in 2026. New video every Tuesday. Drop it in the comments. Pre-curved or flat. What is in your jacket right now?